Hello Comic Army. So this is just a precursor to the normal video. You may or may not know that Retro Rocket Comics My LCS has a customer that does pressing and cleaning. It's called Hot Off the Press. Actually, here's the card. And Scott, the gentleman who has this small business, there we go, has done work for me previously. He has a good price point. I can tell he spends more than enough time with books if they need that extra TLC. And what I want to show you now is two books from my childhood that I've been sitting on for 35 years, easy. And it just hit me on the way out. Maybe these books need to be cleaned and pressed, and then eventually slabbed when I cross paths with CGC again. The first book I'm going to show you is, well, it's iconic. This is The Incredible Hulk issue 340, the book I picked up the day it was released way back in 1987. A long time ago. Now, this book does have some color-breaking spine ticks. I'll show you. They're in amongst here. The one thing you can't see on this book is that it is not completely flat. It is going to need probably a little extra TLC. I'm hoping that this book, when it comes back clean and pressed, that it does have a little bit of its former glory when it comes to color. And obviously that it's smoothed out. And we'll see what Scott can do with some of these spine ticks. But I am hopeful for a 7.5. It's not super dirty. The back is a full-colored ad. But yeah, it's just time that this book gets slabbed up. Again, I've had it for an incredibly long time. And another book I'm going to show you, and I'm going to precursor this. I always wanted, as a kid, the direct edition. I never, ever wanted to see that barcode. In fact, I hated it. And I would have to go to a few different places with my allowance money to pick up books. The other book I picked up the day it was released was a book that has a big old shiny barcode. And I can remember not liking it. But when it comes to The Amazing Spider-Man, on the secondary market, that's not necessarily a bad thing, especially when it's a key. Now, this is a key that has been through the roller coaster more than any other book, in my opinion, in the last 5 or 6 years. The Amazing Spider-Man 361, the first full appearance of Carnage, Cletus Cassidy as Carnage, and I can tell you this book is in great shape. This is minimum a 9.0. The corners are sharp. I can't see of any color breaking spine ticks. I actually can't really see any spine ticks at all. And the ad on the back is a full color dark ad as well, and I didn't see any issues there. But this is a book, I just love the cover artwork, and I'd like to have it cleaned and pressed and then slabbed. I'm hoping that this book comes back 9.2, 9.4, and yeah. So these two books are now being dropped off at Retro Rocket Comics, which is just over my shoulder there. And then I can go pick up my new Comic Book Day haul. And we'll get into that. In fact, we're going to get into it right now. Hit the music. Alright, Comic Army, my name is Chris the Comic Vet. Hope this video finds you safe and well. Okay, it's now time to get into I spent how much, and how much money I spent at my LCS, which is Retro Rocket Comics, located here in Cambridge, Ontario. If you ever make your way to Ontario, I strongly suggest you make the trek to see Chris and his wife Kelly at this tremendous comic book shop. And shout out to Chris for having my pull list waiting for me. I appreciate it. Let's get into this, and then at the end of this video, I will tell you how much money I spent. As always, I like to lead with a Spider title, and in this case, we're going to lead with the franchise himself. This is issue 64, Legacy 958 of the Amazing Spider-Man. Here we are in the 8 Deaths of Spider-Man still. I didn't mind the last issue, but I didn't love it. And as always, I will continue to pick up the damn title because, hey, when you're hardcore, right? Let's be honest. But I'm hoping that this is a banger issue. Fingers crossed. Up next, it's Legacy 673, issue number 3, from the very good Iron Man. Solid cover there. Looking forward to getting into this and seeing the Roxxon War continue. I'm continuing with Duggan's West Coast Avengers. This is issue 2. This is a candidate for cover of the week. It is very, very well done. Phoenix doing Phoenix things. Yeah. Gorgeous. The book I'm probably most excited for, off the strength of Get Fury, is issue number 1 of Hellhunters. Here we have a badass group of Marvel superheroes being led by Wolverine. You actually have a Ghost Rider here, and Bucky, not as the Winter Soldier, and a few other characters dealing with a war. I believe this is World War II, if I'm correct. I haven't read the solicitation in a while. I read it a few months ago when it was first dropped that they're going to be visiting this type of dropping characters in big famous wars. So yeah, excited to get into this one. Another candidate for cover of the week comes from the Independents, and this one obviously comes from Image. It is issue 15 of the excellent Void Rivals. Nice shot. Nice shot. I'm liking it. Solid cover. But now it's time for cover of the week. Cover of the week belongs to Ariel Diaz, doing a fantastic cover for DC's All In, The Absolute World, and it's just gorgeous. Like, could be candidate for cover of the month. It's that nice. This is Ariel Diaz for Absolute Wonder Woman, issue number 3. Very, very well done. And I have to admit, Absolute Wonder Woman is probably my favorite of the 3 Absolute titles right now. Absolute Wonder Woman with a clear-cut, distinct lead for me. Then Superman, and then trailing behind is Batman. That issue number 3 of Absolute Batman didn't click for me. But speaking of The Dark Knight, we'll get into a title that does click for me. And my final book is Detective Comics 1092. We are just 8 issues away from 1100. Tom Taylor is now at the helm, and I'm enjoying what he's doing over the last couple issues. I was strongly concerned that the shift of gears away from Ram V, who had a tremendous run, and I preached that on this channel for a very long time. This is really well done. We're off to a great start. And Tom Taylor, for me, like most people, is kind of hit or miss. But this is definitely a hit so far. So we'll see where this goes. Also, Chris tossed in the DC Connect featuring Hush on the front cover here. And the Marvel previews. Well, we're having Godzilla show up. So Godzilla versus the Marvel U, round 1, Godzilla takes on the Fantastic Four. I'm all in on this. Love Godzilla. And I just hope we have some Arthur Adams covers show up, because no one does Godzilla like Arthur Adams, in my opinion. Yeah. So those 2 previews. Now it's time to see I spent how much? Boom. So right there we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 comics that I just picked up, that I just showed you. Again, because I have a pull list, Chris does give me a discount. So Chris, thank you again for that. And by the way, please make sure that you're subscribed to Retro Hockey Comics across all their social media platforms. Today I spent $47.23 Canadian, which is about $8 American or £7. No, I'm joking. I did spend $47.23 Canadian. That's probably in and around $38, $39 American. But yeah, and if you're catching this, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays, and Happy Hanukkah. I hope that this video finds you at a good time. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed, get a comment. Let me know if you agree with me on that Diaz Absolute Wonder Woman issue number 3 being cover of the week, or was there something different that you liked? Till we see you again, take care.